Last time on the Pantless podcast.
You thought there was going to be clips. Last week was boring. Here's the guys. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Pantless podcast. I'm Travis. This is Austin. Depending on what recording we're
that's
using.
Me. Yeah. Actually, I've noticed that even when we use your recording, I'm on
You're still
the
on
right
this
side of the screen. So,
How?
I don't know
I
why
don't know.
that's the case, but it's somehow like we get whenever you use your recording, we get like a mirror, and so I'm on the right side. But when you use my recording, we get what's on my screen, and I'm on the right side.
Yeah, but we still suck. But yeah, welcome
It's
back.
weird, yeah.
Welcome back. Season 2, Episode 6. We determined, first people in history, that 6 comes after 5.
Yep.
Happened right
Eat
here.
that, Pythagoras. Boom!
Happened right here in our pre-show that we don't record, so we have no record of it happening.
Actually, we do record it, and there is record.
Well, your recording's gonna fail again, so
That's true. Yeah, we'll use your recording.
I don't.
Happen.
My recording may have caught it. I don't remember when I hit start. Did I hit start? I don't even know.
You-
I may have missed all of this. No, I'm recording.
No.
So
Rewind. Welcome to the Pantless podcast. Your one-stop shop for all Pantless action.
yeah, I mean,
Check us on Twitter at the Pantless Pod 1, where
Yeah.
we seldom tweet. You can
very rarely,
email us at the Pantless podcast at gmail.com,
where we rarely tweet.
where we also, rarely tweet.
I haven't checked the email in a couple weeks. Hey, like, if you really just like laughing at our stupidity and just don't like what you watch, subscribe. Watch our videos.
And prank your parents. Send our videos to your parents or loved ones,
Your grandma.
and just say, "This is the greatest show on earth," and then tell them, "Oh, it gets good. You have to sit there a little bit. Oh, they will hate you, but you will be laughing hysterically." It's a good ab workout.
Stick with it.
So.
Stick with it. It just gets worse the more you watch it. Yeah, just tell us how stupid we are in the comments.
Please.
Mock us, make fun of us.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do. If you're listening to us on one of
Check us out on YouTube or check.
all
Yeah.
podcasts,
You can. I wonder.
platforms.
I've never tried to look to see if we've ever got like a review on Apple Podcast.
I don't.
I have no idea. I wonder.
Didn't know.
We might have a 5-star rating.
We might have a 1-star rating. Austin. Can you get negative stars? Because if you
I
could,
don't know.
we might. I can see that.
They might start that. If anybody in Apple watches this, they might be like, "Yeah, we need negative stars." I don't know what's going on. But I can already tell you right now that this recording is going to be terrible because my screen keeps freezing. Are you even hearing me?
I am hearing you, but you are kind of choppy. So this may be a
Yeah,
one man cast tonight.
Our screen keeps freezing, and it's like, yeah, I'll just keep talking and see where it goes.
Yeah, make comments in the down below on if you think Austin should just bite the bullet and buy a new computer. Because if he doesn't, he'll
You can send me money.
Or yeah, you can. Or also, he may just have to start doing all these off his phone.
Oh, I could do that. I could, and I'll just never record.
So
We'll figure it out. It'll
something
happen eventually.
will happen.
Yeah. So what's been going on, man? What kind of news do you have for us? Anything great?
Yeah,
Anything exciting happened this week?
I really don't have much at all. This has kind of been a nothing week for me. I haven't really been playing much. I have been playing this. I will admit I have been playing this new PC game, but I haven't really had much time this week to jump into it. I don't know if you've heard of a game called Valheim.
No. Sounds Norse.
Very Norse.
Is it Norse?
You
Okay.
you are. I haven't really figured out the storyline of it because there's really not much story. There is, but it's kind of stretched out a little bit, and I don't really read much in video games. But you're dropped off in this world, and you have to go defeat all these bosses. And after you defeat, I think 5 or 6 bosses, which I haven't even defeated the first one yet, you get to go to Valhalla. You ascend to Valhalla.
Okay.
So it's very if Gert shows up, he'll understand this reference, but it's kind of a lot like Ark. It's got some building it's got survival and building aspects, a little bit like Minecraft, except for it looks better, but doesn't look much better. It's kind of it was developed by an indie studio that's got like 5 people in the studio. So it's made by a very small team. All the maps are procedurally generated, so you get a different map every time you play. You could sail, you could build boats and sail across the ocean, which I almost died in the water the other night. So I took a small raft and decided to do some sailing, and realized how bad I am at it.
How big's the world? Is it pretty big?
It's fairly large. Because I think it's kind of a circle map, and I think I've done about this much of the map. Maybe this much, and it's, huge. In the small amount of map that I have discovered, because I think the first boss where he's at from where I have to start, from where my first home is, it takes me one in-game day to go from my home to the boss, and it's about that big of a spot on the map. And the map's is huge.
Okay.
And like, if somebody else starts playing and I decide to jump into their world, I can take my character with my levels and jump into your world, and we can play. I can help you out, then come back to mine. I don't have to start a new character every time we do multiplayer stuff. And I think you can play up to 10 people in one world in multiplayer. It's probably one of the hottest games on Steam right now.
How much does it cost?
I think I paid $20 for it. I think it's still. I want to say it's still in early access on Steam. I don't think it's actually left early access. All right, well, this isn't. So, a little bit of a teaser. I'm not going to say the name of the movie, but the movie that my wife selected for our movie review, I don't think it's on. I don't think it's on Common Sense Media.
Really? So it's obscure?
Not. I think it's just one of those that says, "Don't let your kids watch the movie." It's an older movie, but I could probably find another one if we'll see. We'll see. We might do 2 movies tonight if we can't get that one rolling. Maybe you can grab one off your shelf you got there. So, what have you what's been going on in the world of Austin this week?
Not a lot, man. It's been kind of boring for me too. Dabbled in a little bit of Hyrule Warriors, trying to 100% that. At least get 100% of the map. So it's slow go. I'm Korok seed hunting. I've done everything that I can do except this, for right now, except this one mission that requires 24 Korok seeds, and I have 17. So 7 more. I'll see what is out there.
Are you excited for the DLC for that one?
I am. That's why I would really like to get 100% of the map. Basically, finish it before the DLC comes out, just to see what happens.
Have they dated the DLC yet?
I thought they did. I thought it was. I want to say it was April, or it could have been late May. Maybe it was late May.
Okay, so it says the expansion pass will cost $20 and launch in 2 waves on June 2021 and November 2021.
Okay.
So it hasn't technically been dated. It's been
June and November.
It's been quasi-dated. Still haven't picked that game up. I haven't even turned my Switch on, and it's been months since I got my new graphics card in my computer. I haven't turned my Switch on. There's really nothing on there I want to play. A guy at work was asking if I wanted to watch or if I had played Bravely Default 2 yet.
Yeah.
I forgot that game even came out.
Yeah, I got the demo, and it was okay. It wasn't anything that I could be like, oh, I love it.
I kept meaning to download the demo, and then I'd just come home and either go do some other stuff, or I'd kick on my computer and be like, oh, I guess I'll play on my computer for a while, and I'll never. I don't even know if my Switch is even hooked up to a input right now. I might have unhooked it. I know it's still in its dock right there, but I can't even, without moving a bunch of stuff, I couldn't even get to it.
Yeah.
You know? So, it looks like it's just been a boring week for both of us.
It has been.
You know.
Sorry, guys. I apologize for this.
I need
slow go.
I need football to come back.
Right? Let's jump into a retro movie review, man.
All right,
let's do something. Let's get it.
All right.
The fans deserve something. So here we are. Time for
retro movie review.
I want to go say my brain stopped working. You ready for this one?
What you got?
This one's if you haven't seen it, I'm just gonna be disappointed. It's not good enough for us to unfriend each other. Antonio Pandares in The 13th Warrior.
Ooh, I'm trying to remember if I've seen that. I don't know. I can't remember.
Spoilers.
I remember it coming out, and I wanted to watch it.
Spoilers. The book was amazing. It's actually the story was actually written by probably one of my favorite authors of all time. Sadly enough, he passed away 2010, 2011. He's been gone for a while. But this is a Michael Crichton story. The name of the book, they changed the name for the movie. The original story is Eaters of the Dead when he wrote it. And the movie only encompasses, I think, a third of what the book tells. The story the book tells. They take, I think, the front third they chopped off and the back third they chopped off, and they just told the middle part of the story. I think they kind of glossed over a little bit of the beginning because it had to tell that, how he got to where he was. But yeah,
interesting.
It's a Norse book. It's based in Norse mythology.
Starring Antonio Banderas.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's
awesome.
He's not Norse. He plays a.
No.
His name's Ahmed. I think he's a. I don't want to say the wrong.
He plays a Middle Eastern warrior.
Yeah, he's a Middle Eastern guy that gets stuck in a. There's some quest that he's on a pilgrimage because he was disgraced. He got with his master's wife, slept with her, and instead of just outright killing him, the guy sends him on this death quest to go send these scrolls out and you'll never come back from this. You're gonna die on this. And if you do come back, your honor will be restored, kind of thing. I'm paraphrasing because I haven't watched this movie in years either. And I haven't even read. It's been even longer since I read the book. But he gets wrapped up in this Norse thing where they have to go. They had to draw 13 warriors to go defeat these evil people. I don't remember who they were even called. And he's at the banquet hall, and they're doing this weird Norse magic stuff to select the 13 warriors. And they said the 13th warrior had to be a foreigner. And they're like, oh, well, he's the only foreigner in the tent. And they select him, and he doesn't even understand what they're saying. he has a translator with him. Because in the book, he never learns their language. He has to. One of the other Norsemen knows his language and translates for him back and forth. Where in the movie, it shows him learning their language on the first night of them traveling. So they changed quite a bit. Michael Crichton, he wrote the Jurassic Park books. What else did he do? Did you ever watch the movie Congo with the monkeys?
Yeah.
He wrote the book for that one.
Silverbacks or whatever.
Yeah. Did you watch the one with Samuel L. Jackson? God dang it, what's the name of that movie? Sphere? That was a horrible movie. Sphere, like a circle.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Samuel L. Jackson was in that one. What else did he do? Did you ever watch one called Timeline?
I don't think so.
That one had, I just lost. If my wife was up here, she'd know exactly who was in that one because she loves that movie. The movie was completely inaccurate from the book because that's one of my favorite books of all time. But still a decent movie. I've read most of Michael Crichton's book. Funny, I'll admit, he's probably my favorite author of all time. But I've never read any of the Jurassic Park books.
Yeah.
Those were his most popular books, and he actually was planning to only write one book in the series. And the movie was so successful that they pressured him to make 2 more books. Because the movie was supposed to end after one movie. Most of the characters, I think, were slated to die at the end of the book and movie. Like at the end, in the book, I think Malcolm dies. And the writers of the movie were like, we don't like that. Change the book so that we can make the movie more accurate. And they had to shuffle some things around.
So the book came out simultaneously with the film?
No,
with
the book...
Live edits?
No, the book came out years before. But he did an abridged version of the book that released simultaneously with the movie that had that change in it. So it would be more in line so that they could make 2 more movies and books. Because he had to write the books before the movies came out.
Speaking of those books, did you see where there's a bunch of Dr. Seuss books going out for like hundreds of dollars on the interwebs right now?
Okay, so I didn't research that, but I saw some stuff on my YouTube feed about Dr. Seuss getting canceled.
No, that's what people are like making it out to be. But what really happened was the Dr. Seuss family. There was there's 6 books that they were like, yeah, this probably in today's climate won't go over well. So they've stopped publishing. The family voluntarily just stopped publishing 6 books because it had some questionable content in today's society and climate.
People don't like green eggs anymore. It's like green eggs.
That wasn't one of them. That wasn't one of them, but...
Redfish.
Yeah, so anyway, so that they announced that they were going to stop publishing those books, and then people just obviously hit eBay and started going out on Facebook saying, oh, look, these books are banned. The only way you can get them is from me. And there are people literally paying over $100 for a Dr. Seuss book. It's crazy. So, of course, we were like, oh, kids, run in your room, find these books. And and we have 4 of the 6. So our game plan is hold on to them until, like, whenever our first kid turns 18, we'll give her 2 of the books, and maybe they'll be worth $1,500 by then. And then when my son turns 18, he can have the other 2 books, and that'll be their, get out of my house present. Here's 2 books. Go buy yourself. Get an apartment.
So one of the books is "And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street." I've never read that one. Never even heard of that one. "If I Ran the Zoo," McElligot's Pool, "On Beyond Zebra," "Scrambled Eggs Super," and "The Cat's Quizzer." I've never heard of any of those. We don't have any of those.
I'll sell them to you for $1,500 a piece.
Yeah, I'll. As long as you use all that money to buy a new computer.
That'd be a beastly computer, $6,000 computer.
And we wouldn't have any of these issues that we're having now.
That's true.
Worth it. Sorry, kids, you can't go to college. Sorry, kids, you can't go to college. I had to buy Austin a new computer. I'd turn around and sell them for a couple grand more than what I bought them for, though. I'd flip them.
There you go. Profit.
So just so you know, the
Mark says I'm into that.
13th Warrior was a 42 on Metacritic, by the way. No user reviews.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
The movie did release in '99.
Oh, it looks older than that. I would have said that was an early '90s movie. 99.
Here's a little summary. It says Ivan Fahadlin was his name. An important emissary who is banished from his homeland comes across a band of Norse warriors who coerce him into joining them when they are summoned to fight mysterious creatures legendary for consuming every living thing in their path. That's
pretty epic.
Yeah.
Were you able to find it on Comics with Media?
No, that's just a small summary on Metacritic here. If you've never seen it before, it's a really good movie to watch. I would suggest not letting your kids watch this movie. It is rated R. For bloody battles and carnage.
Then there's a good chance. 99 rated R. There's a good chance I didn't watch it. I probably wasn't allowed to.
It was another one of those. This movie came out. I remember 99. I'd have been real bit. I'd have been early high school. So I would have been. That's back whenever I was reading a lot of Crichton books at that time. And I remember picking up a big, thick paperback book that had Sphere, Congo, and Eaters of the Dead, all 3 novels in one paperback that I rented from the library. And I had already read Sphere at that point for a book report. And I'm like, I'd never heard of Eaters of the Dead. I'm like, this sounds interesting. So I literally, that's the only copy of that they had in the library, because I don't think the high school library would have wanted a book called Eaters of the Dead, but it was in that collection. And I flipped back and I read that book. That's the only part of that 3-part that I read. And I'm like, fell in love with this and found out that this movie had already been made at that time. But it was made under a different name. I'd heard of this movie, but I didn't know what the hell it was. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, love this movie. So.
Sweet.
Man, I tell you, I've been reading some books, though. Been using my Audible lately. I don't know if you Audible at all there.
I actually just Audibled, just out of disclaimer. I'm not a Marxist, but I did just finish the Communist Manifesto.
Oh, really? I don't know what that is. So
yeah,
congratulations.
It was basically Karl Marx's. He got together with a bunch of communists in, I think it was like 1860, and they wrote their manifesto, basically their call to arms, so the majority of the workforce could rise up against the bourgeoisie and take them down through infiltrating the government and making everything common, I guess.
Basically,
it was interesting. It was interesting, unrealistic, because they're like, his thing was, here's the game plan, because we hate the elitists. So our game plan is to infiltrate the government, become so powerful, increase the size of government to the point where it literally encompasses everything, and then we'll give up our power because we won't let power corrupt us. Yeah, let's see how that works. Of course, it's never worked.
So this is this was more like a documentary, like historical book.
Yeah, this is it was real. It was a real manifesto.
Yeah, see, I just can't get into books like that anymore. I'm trying to find. Oh, there we go. So this book series I'm reading right now, it's called the Spellmonger series by Terry Mancore.
Okay.
It popped up on my, because I read a lot of fantasy novels, a lot of sci-fi, a lot of just like medieval fantasy stuff. And this one popped up a while back. I'm actually currently reading book 6 out of book 12 just dropped end of the year, and 12.5 is going to be coming out here in a couple months.
12.5.
He releases little short novellas that are like,
okay,
you don't have to read, because there was like a 2.5 that I read, and it was only like a 4-hour book, where all of his other ones are like in the 20s, like 20, 23, 30-hour books. And I read it, and then started on book 3, and they never even made any comments about anything that happened in the book, in the 2.5. Like, it wasn't even mentioned. So it's like, oh, I didn't even really need to read that one, but it does put some context on some stuff. So it's a really good series that I'm reading. After I'm done with this, I'm going to start reading some of the... there's some books in the Diablo series. The Diablo video games.
Yeah.
There's a whole book series into the lore of Diablo that I'm probably going to jump into after this book is done. I might take a break from it. But what was the other series that I was reading a while back that I think you would like? Did you ever watch that sci-fi show Firefly?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I've not seen Firefly. Heard good things.
There's a series called Galaxy Outlaws that's on Audible, and it's an 81-hour Audible book. That thing took me like 3 months to get through. But it's all... Do what?
So I'm going to pull up my Audible. I'll tell you, I've got queue of books in Audible that I have to get through. Have you ever heard... I actually read these. I don't have them on Audible, but have you ever heard of the Alchemist series by Michael Scott?
No, I haven't.
The first book was The Alchemist, The Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel.
That sounds familiar. Why does that sound familiar?
It's a pretty good... I can't remember how many books they have, but they're done. But it's really, really interesting. Very, very interesting. Very entertaining. It's not very... I don't know, like, how mature you're into, like, mature books, but I think it was, like, more like... It's more like of a young adult or... older teenager type. But it's got some fantastical elements.
If you want to get into mature books, I was reading a book. I was going through a book series called Critical Failures. I just dropped the name of the author. Yes. It's an adult only series. It's pretty vulgar, a lot of language. Oh, you need it open. And the author of this book series, he used to write for Dungeons and Dragons, and then he left and started writing his own series called Creatures and Caverns and Creatures, which is like a weird comical spin on Dungeons and Dragons. And his books were called Critical Failures, and it was about a group of friends that got sucked into a game of basically D&D, and they become their characters.
So like Jumanji?
So, yeah, similar like it, because they roll these magical dice that they don't even know that they're rolling, because they make the dungeon master mad at them, and he makes them roll these magical dice, and it sucks them into the world that's in his head, and they become the characters that they were playing as in the game. And now they have to try to survive in this world and try to get back home. There's like 8 books in the series, and they still haven't made it home. Spoiler.
Oh gosh.
And he's wrote like I think he's wrote like 30 or 40 short stories that go into the frickin'. It's a very long series, and it's not for children. It's very vulgar.
Mm.
But I think, going back, I think you would like Galaxy Outlaws. It's probably the best. Are you paying the subscription for Audible, or do you just buy your books outright?
No, we have the subscription.
So, Galaxy Outlaws, it is, like I said, it's I think it's like 81-hour Audible book. But you can get it for one credit. And I think it's a collection of all 16 books in the series.
Okay. So it's all the books combined as 80 hours. It's not one book that's 80 hours.
But it reads like one. It reads like one book, because like you'll be going through and it's like chapter 2, and that's like the second book. Or it'll be like part 2, part 3, part 4. And it's you're following this ship captain in outer space. It's almost like a space western. Is basically what it is.
Okay.
It's a lot like
Firefly.
After I read through I got through the entire book, and at the very end there was like a section from the author where he kind of explained why he wrote this book, and he was a huge fan of Firefly and was super disappointed that it was canceled.
Pretty recent series. Okay.
He was disappointed that it got canceled, so he started writing a spiritual successor to Firefly, and that's what Galaxy Outlaw became.
Okay.
And there's magic. Magic is in this universe. There's like wizards. And like one of the main characters is a wizard that helps them. That's how they get through slip space. Like hyperspace and slip space is done by magic. Like the wizard has to go into the middle of the ship and like move time space around to jump them into this other reality so they can zip faster than he has to zip them back out. It's kind of a weird logic. He's my favorite character. The wizard's my favorite character in the entire story. I read too many books.
Yeah, I'm really into non-fiction, but I did, just for historical sake, I did get some Tolkien and some C.S. Lewis.
Ooh.
So I think I got like the entire Chronicles of Narnia series for one token. So I was like, meh, I'm not.
That's okay. I'm
not really into that kind of stuff, but I can't even see see that. What is that?
The Silmarillion.
What is that?
That's a J.R. Tolkien book.
Silmarillion?
The Silmarillion? I
Silmarillion.
Silmarillon. It's in the Lord of the Rings. I think it happens before Hobbit. I think it's like a first or second era. It's not part of any of the movie series. I have it in my library. I could listen to it now. I just haven't. I think I picked it up. I either picked it up and I paid for it it was like massively on sale, or that might have been back when I was reading Galaxy Outlaws, and it literally like took me 3 or 4 months to get through that entire book. So I racked up like 4 or 5 credits. I was like, oh crap, I need to use these, and Silmarillion was sitting there, so I got it. J.S. Morin is the guy that wrote Galaxy Outlaws. I need to reread that one. And I suggest anything from Neil Gaiman. Just go to Audible and look up Neil Gaiman and read anything from him, except for American Gods. Don't start if you've never read his stuff. Don't start with that. It's the only book of his that I've started and not finished.
That bad, huh?
It's good. It's a great book. It's an epic book. There's actually an HBO series based around that book that follows the book word for word. But there's some massive down cycles in that book where there's like 2 or 3 chapters of the main character just sitting in a chair looking at a TV and you just hear his inner thoughts of, I don't know why I'm here. And it's like 3 chapters of him just trying to figure his life out. And then like a chapter of action and then him back on a chair just like, yeah, I had to put it down. I'm like, I'm not in the right frame of mind to be reading this right now. And it's very graphic. It's a very graphic adult book. Which not all of his are. Most of his books are pretty young adult friendly. So. Yeah. I guess Gert.
That was our retro movie review.
That was our small movie review into a Audible book rant.
Yeah.
So, I guess Garrett's not coming on.
Well, dadgummit. Ready. I thought the fans were like dying for a gaming with Gert segment.
We're gonna lose subscribers now.
So sad.
I just messaged him, so we'll see what happens. He hasn't even seen my message, so.
What kind of loser has a life on a Friday night?
He might be out doing crime. You remember that? He does.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He does like his crime.
Maybe he's out stealing me a new computer.
One can only hope.
Yeah. I'm like 64% sure if there's another stimulus, I'm going to use it to get a computer.
You're 64% sure that if the 5% chance of you getting another stimulus
right,
check.
Yeah. 64% sure that I would say there's like a 65% chance that we'll get another stimulus. So.
Hey, I came out pretty good on that last one, so can't complain. Yeah. Hey, when are we gonna get more? Let's jump into our fantasy segment here. I don't know if we've got a graphic for that one that can fly across the screen right now.
We don't, but we can pretend we do.
And get into why do we not have a full league in our in our baseball? We need 2 more people.
I don't know. I haven't even checked. We need 2 more.
Yeah.
Who's all in? I haven't seen it.
So we got you, me,
Yeah.
Frazier,
Okay.
and Chansey.
Oh, Chansey's in the baseball league, huh?
I think that's
Interesting.
she said she joined.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, she's in there. Man, I was looking.
Yeah.
I was looking at this. My gosh, this is going to be a difficult league.
It's gonna be complicated, huh?
Yeah, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have to draft 9 pitchers.
Oh.
Alone. I think there's like 20. Let's see here. There's 9 here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 29 players that we'll have to draft. Because there's 20 players, 9 pitchers. I don't know what the ILs are. I don't know what those are, but you got bench and then IL. I don't know anything about stickball, so. But I'm willing to learn.
Yeah. Pretty soon you're gonna be diehard.
Probably not. Man, you could tell that the basketball league is gonna be the tale of two halves here. I freaking killed it.
What do you mean?
We're halfway through the season and I feel like I have peaked in my dominating this league. I'm gonna have to scrap for every game the rest of the year.
There have been some people that have capitalized on some advantageous trades.
Yeah.
Some ill-advised drop/pickups, and it's going to be. And then the other teams that started out not really paying attention started going, "Hey, I know how to play this. Let's play."
Well,
It's gotten pretty interesting. It's gotten competitive. It went from being not very competitive to the whole league's pretty competitive.
So something I was watching a sports show right before we started recording. Do you know who has Blake Griffin right now?
I don't. Can't remember who got him. I did remember seeing him get picked up.
Did he get picked up?
I want to say it was David. Picked him up.
So he might pick up this second half. And this is something I had never heard of before. Completely unheard of. In my mind. Or in my world. Blake Griffin bought out his contract with the Pistons. He's like, I refuse to play for you.
Contract. Yeah. That is amazing.
Yeah, he's like, I will not.
Oh my gosh.
He's like, I will not play for you guys. Here's the money to buy out the rest of my contract. I'm out. And they're reporting he may end up going to another team.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I'm sorry, that's awesome.
I know. I heard about that and I was like, what? How'd that happen?
Crazy.
So, no, David does not have him.
Oh,
apparently.
Okay.
I don't know where he went.
I think you need to pick him up.
He's on my radar right now. If nobody has him. Because I think currently, even if you have him... I didn't realize LeBron James was day-to-day. That's rough. Mark's got some hurt.
They're probably all gonna rest.
I think they're all day-to-day right now.
They probably are. I know he didn't play his last game and then he upset.
See, I'm mad at you because you don't have anybody on IR. That makes me mad.
I did have a DeRozan on there that when they were in their COVID protocol.
Yeah.
wouldn't mind having some like stud. Oh, that David ended up picking up that I think his name's Chris Levert from the Pacers. He's been hurt for several weeks.
I thought David had Levert.
Isn't that what I just said?
I thought you said somebody else. He's hurt actually. Karis Levert.
Yeah, but he picked him up, and just knowing that he'll probably come back soon.
See, I picked up a center that I can't pronounce his name. That he got hurt early in the season, and somebody dropped him. And I was looking around on, I just kind of checking around on the free agency market, and he was like a game from coming back. So I went ahead and picked him up, and he's been killing it. Centers, I understand now why centers are restricted in the leagues. I think you can only have X amount of centers on your roster. I think I'm at max. Because they score hellacious points.
Yeah. It's all the rebounds they get.
And that might be what it is. Griffin's actually a free agent right now.
Oh, pick him up.
He's listed as
Who
hurt.
you dropping? Yeah, his feelings are hurt.
It says right here, Griffin agreed to a contract buyout with the Pistons on Friday. Yeah, they're trying to trade him right now. I'm going to keep an eye on him. Problem is, he's just not that good.
He's in the league a while.
Hey, I remember when he was a rookie.
Yeah, rookie of the year, I think.
Yeah, came out of Oklahoma.
Yep. Yeah.
Back, Oklahoma not known for their basketball.
Yeah, he took him to a Final Four.
He did.
He took him to a Final Four, and he actually he went to high school in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
So he's kind of a
Oklahoma boy.
He's an Oklahoma boy. He's one of us.
So, has Oklahoma been back? Has OU even been back to the Final Four since?
Yes. Yeah, one time. They back when Trae Young was with Oklahoma, we made it to the Final Four. That was pretty sad because we had a sharp shooting team. We were winning our games because of our three-pointers. Like, we were lights out from three-point. And then the Final Four, they played in Houston's Energy Arena. So they were playing in a football stadium, and they just put a court there. And their depth perception was just, it was crazy. So they could not hit a three for anything, and then I'm pretty sure it was Villanova who beat them out, and then Villanova ended on winning the whole thing. They won the championship the next game.
I need to do what?
But also, it was a good season. But yeah, when they went to that football arena, I knew ahead of time. I was like, "There's no way they're not going to be able to hit a three in this football arena." They're used to these little bitty arenas, and then they could see everything right here. And now, the stands behind the backboard are, way out in BFE.
Yeah, the depth perception was probably just destroyed. I need to start following Tulsa basketball again. TU used to be a freaking powerhouse, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, they used to be good. They used to make the tournament fairly regularly.
Well, they used to lose a game down the stretch on purpose just to get into the NIT, because they really weren't like they would like to get into the March Madness, but knew that they'd do better in the NIT tournament. Because I think there was, I think in the mid-2000s, I think they won the NIT like 3 or 4 times. Like every time they go to the NIT or that other tournament that's a little bit smaller, they'd go and just dominate those tournaments. But then if they made, there was one year I think they were a 16 seed in March Madness and got blown out in the first game by somebody, like one of the bigger teams. Didn't Carmelo Anthony used to be a good player?
He did. He was at one point.
Or is he still good? He just doesn't fantasy well.
He's pretty much he's getting close to being done. He's getting close.
Because he's a free agent in our league right now.
It's just he's not consistent. Every now and then he'll have a game where it's like, oh look, that's the Melo that we remember.
Yeah, I just looked at his stats, and he's in the last 5 games, 38, 21, 65, 34, 27.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if that's something I could rely on.
Yeah.
So many of those.
If you're desperate, go for it.
We'll have to see how many of my players actually recover from in this All-Star break.
I bet they'll all come back super strong and healthy, and then you'll be back to dominating.
Well, the player I've had in IR for the last 3 weeks, his updates keep popping up and saying he'll be good after the All-Star break. He'll be good after the All-Star break, and now I think his last update was, well, he'll miss the first game after the All-Star break, and we'll see after that. And it's like, come on now. At least my guy on IR in hockey came back and is frickin' tearing up the ice in Ohio.
There you go.
Well, he tore it up when he was in. Damn it, where was he first playing? I can't remember where he started the season at. But he got hurt and then demanded a trade and then had to do frickin' COVID protocol stuff. So we missed a lot of time. It's like, hate you people. So, well, it looks like we're not getting Gert tonight.
Boo.
You got anything else you wish to?
I don't think so, man. I got nothing. It's been a boring week. Haven't done much. I think I've just been exhausted, going to bed early. So, sorry for the fun in this episode, y'all. But once again, you can punk your friends and family by sharing this worldwide. You can listen to us on the podcast. If you're watching us on YouTube and you're like, these guys are ugly, I'd rather just listen to their beautiful voices.
Heck yeah.
Subscribe to us on whatever podcatcher you're using. And if you guys are listening to us on podcasts, and you're like, I don't know what you guys are doing, I want to see your face, you can see our face. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to us. Comment. We actually could be involved with YouTube more than our podcast. And then we're on Twitter, the Pantless Pod 1.
I'm gonna interrupt you there, boss. We're gonna add any music to our Spotify playlist tonight?
Oh yeah, Spotify playlist. We have a Spotify playlist. So we're over 2 hours of music now from all the bands that we've talked about this season.
I was gonna add.
What have you been listening to? You heard anything?
I actually just been listening to just a butt ton of Demon Hunter this week. I guess because it's because it's a slow week. I just need something to get me moving, and that's what Demon Hunter.
Yep.
And, an album that I didn't even know they had dropped on Prime Music this week.
Like, is it a new album or an old album that was recently added to Prime?
Old album. It was a 2015 album, and it frustrates me because I keep up with Demon Hunter, and I know I've listened to. I thought I'd listened to all their albums. Obviously,
Yeah, I don't remember a 2015. I don't remember a 2015
I
album.
don't either. It's called Extremist.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
I listened to the whole album and I'm like, I don't recognize any of these songs. I'm like, what's this all about? Didn't they have I guess it's a greatest hits album that's called Death of Destination. It's a 3-disc set.
All right.
I got it.
That'd be awesome.
It's got a lot of their songs on it. Some songs I'd never heard of before. It's like, they dropped a ton of stuff on Prime this week for them. And it probably could have dropped a month ago and I didn't see it, but I saw it this month. Oh, Gert just messaged and said he fell asleep.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure all of our viewers will understand that.
No. They should get in the comment section below and bash him.
Yes.
We can all make fun of him in the comments below.
All week, just harass. Hey, we need him. So you know what? I guess we'll take you back next week, but we don't want to. We'll do it. Intro. I want to ask her. I keep forgetting. But I heard it one time, and I'm pretty sure it was the intro to Infected. Do you remember that song, Infected?
By
Demon Hunter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, actually, I was listening to that song. That's like one of my favorite songs by them. I'm Infected.
Yeah, that's one of my...
Yeah.
Pull the plug already. Tell me before I go.
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah. I was actually... I think when I was riding the shuttle, I was listening to that song.
Or was her phone ringing, and you were just like, "Oh, that's Infected."
No,
I could be completely wrong. I want to ask her, so maybe I'll put Infected because I heard that and I was thinking about them, and I'm like, that's a great song, old song, really old song, but
yeah, that's off of. I just had my music. I just had that song pulled up. Another song you should listen to by them is a song called "Soldier Song."
I don't know if I know that one. I don't think I do.
I couldn't get the lyrics for that one if I tried. Infected was off of their self-titled Demon Hunter album. Actually.
What year was that? That was early 2000s?
Yeah, that'd have been early. I don't have a date on here. That also had My Throat is an Open Grave. Great song. Song. That's about the only two songs on that album that I really could quote. What's the other one? If you haven't listened to it, listen to Demon Hunter's Jesus Wept off their Outlive album. That song is amazing. That group, that YouTubers that I shared in our Discord.
Yeah. Which you guys can click the link below and join our Discord.
Yeah.
And you can see what he's talking about.
They do a reaction video to Jesus Wept. Flippin' amazing. I love that song. I'm looking for this other one. So I get the name. That's too new. God dang it, where's that? Dang it, Bobby. There'll be some down here. Oh, no, don't do that. It's off their. Why did it have to be off that album? Because I can't pronounce the name of that album. The
Triptych.
Triptych, yeah. It's off Triptych. It's called the Soldier Song.
Okay, so I'm sure I've heard it. I just I don't know by the name.
That's also got. There's also a song on that album called Rib Cage. Break Through the Rib Cage.
I don't think I can name one song off of that album.
Break Through the Rib Cage. Tear the heart out from everyone you know. Over and over again.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it. I'm going to leave you with one philosophical question before we go.
Oh, yeah, lay it on me, man.
So
you're asking them. You're asking them. You're not asking me. My bad.
You, them, it doesn't matter. I'd heard this and I never thought about this.
Yeah?
So, before God said, Adam, I hate the fact that you're all by yourself. Let me make you a woman. Did Adam have a penis?
And so, why?
So, goodbye, everybody.